Hey guys, it's Monica here, and I am doing a quick little cooking video for you guys today. I'm not feeling so hot. I think I might be getting a cold. I'm not sure. So I thought chicken and dumplings sound just peachy keen to me. So I decided to do just a real quick cooking video. I still haven't got all my setup ready, and I'm a little behind on some of my videos, but I had planned to take a week off and film some videos in between that week so I could post them and keep making them. It didn't exactly turn out that way, but I'm trying my best to get used to this new schedule. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this real quick cooking video, and if you want to see chicken and dumplings, then keep watching. Okay, so we are going to start off with a whole chicken. I've just washed it and tossed it over into this huge pot here, and I filled it up with water. You can fill it up with chicken broth if you want, or you can even go the route of making your own broth with throwing in some onions, celery, carrots, any type of vegetables you'd like. I'm not going to go that route today just because I'm not really feeling it. So all I've done to season the water is throw in a buttload of salt because that is a lot of chicken. Some pepper, a little bit of onion powder, garlic powder. I don't know the exact measurements, honestly, because it is my house seasoning. I've talked about it in a couple other videos. My house seasoning is basically salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. And I just mix it all together and put it in a little container named House Blend. And when I'm cooking such as chicken or hamburger meat, and I know I'm going to be using those, it's just easier to grab one item instead of 4 out of the cabinet. So I've tossed that over in there, and I've put a little bit of Mrs. Dash garlic and herb and a little bit of Mrs. Dash onion and herb, and then I threw a little bit of the Mrs. Dash chicken flavoring over in there, and a little bit of parsley flake, just mainly for the color, no taste in particular, but just mainly for the color. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this boil and cook thoroughly, and then we're going to take it out and let it cool before we start trying to handle it so we don't burn our little fingers off. Okie dokie, so our lovely chicken is all pulled off and it's shredded up here in the pot. Now we're going to add our ingredients. Now we get to add in the fun stuff. We're going to add in the chicken broth, which I just have a thing right here. You can keep the broth that you boiled the chicken in. I would have, but I just decided not to today. I don't know why. Probably would have been a lot easier. And then I have 2 cans right here, and I know it's really dark over in this corner, guys. 2 cans of cream of chicken with herbs we're going to put over into the pot as well. You might have to add a little bit of water. Normally when I do this in the crock pot, I have to add just a little bit of water. Not too much, but you can do it on the stove or you can do it in the crock pot. Either way, you can throw your chicken in there raw, or you can use cooked chicken like I have done today. It doesn't really matter, but it needs at least about 4 hours in the crock pot on high, and if you're going to do it on low, it needs about 8 or 9. So anyways, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're going to go ahead and dump these in the pot, and we're going to bring it up to a simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for at least an hour, and then we're going to go in with the biscuits. Alright, our stuff is a rolling boil. You can see all the spices and stuff still around the pot. Don't worry about that. So now I'm going to add in my dumpling mixture, which I'm going to add in a stick of butter. Trust me, you'll thank me for it later. And then I have a can of great value jumbo biscuits. I like the fluffy ones because they puff up really nicely. So I usually add in 1 can, which is about 8 biscuits. If you want to add in more, you can, just depending on how dumply you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop open this can. I'm going to take the biscuits apart. So there's 8 of them, and then I'm going to slice them down the middle and cut them into 4 pieces, and then we're going to drop them over into our pot here, into our boiling chicken mixture, and let them do their thing for at least an hour. I mean, they'll puff up and they'll be really, really nice. I would say an hour, 2 hours, depending on what you're doing, really. Oh, and I did have to add 2 I think like 2 cups of water, 2 cups of water in here. You can add some, take away some, you could add milk. I mean, just depending on your preference, really, what you want. But I did have to add water to this to make it a little bit more liquidy. So yeah, so now we're going to go ahead and throw in our butter and our biscuits. Alright guys, that is it. Really easy, really simple. You can do it on the stove top or you can do it in the crock pot. I do it both ways. It just kind of sort of depends on my mood or my time frame. If I have a good while to let it just kind of hang out, I will do it in the crock pot. But if I'm just needing it, you know, like wham bam, thank you ma'am, I do it on the stove top. But you can add as many canned biscuits to it as you'd like. It doesn't matter. You throw in sour cream, you can throw in cheese. Sometimes I like to do it like that. You can really add anything to this recipe, but I wanted to give you guys just the basics of it. And yeah, so that is it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this recipe, and I will see you guys next Wednesday for What's for Dinner. Bye guys.